Coast Nation, Sanbonan Bafetu, and welcome back to Trends with me, OQP. Now, on today's video, Bafetu, I do have some updates, especially on the young boy named Asanele Velebhayi. Also going to be looking at, Peter Shalulile. We're also going to be looking at Fiston Mayele, and we're going to be looking at Pasadena. Apparently, there's some interest from a PSL team, which obviously I'm going to give you in terms of that. And then also we do get to Mayele, because I know you guys have been waiting to hear what is happening. We're going to be looking at there's a lot, but we're not going to dive into everything just yet. And then also we're going to be looking at Abo Happy Mashiane, Samgelo Zwane, and the goalkeeper. And what else, guys? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm not going to talk too much, but even Etioso Ikodaro, we are going to be looking at him. So guys, anyways, welcome back to the channel. Please do make sure that you like the video, you subscribe to the channel, and also don't forget to click the bell notification before we dive more into the details. Now, starting with Asanele Velebhayi, I feel like you guys need to hear this for yourselves, because at the end of the day, sometimes it does help, to hear a different voice, a different someone when it comes to those players and everything that is happening at national. Because at the end of the day, you might feel like QB is lying to us, but anyways, let's just have a listen to this.
Spurs want to keep him.
Okay.
They're fighting to keep him because they're also fighting to stay in the step fund. They're trying to buy status. They're trying to fight their relegation, so they're trying to keep their best players, but there is a sense that they could consider selling him, because they know the player wants to leave. They've held on to him for so long. So I actually see a scenario where you will end up at Kaizer Chiefs before the close of transfer window. I see a scenario where you will end up at Chiefs.
Okay, I know. That's all I wanted
because
to
remember they wanted a police. They were not able to get a police, so they are obviously looking at an option for that position. So that would be Velebhayi and Luther, but the most likely would be a Velebhayi. Depends here on thing.
I do remember when you told me about the chairman of Polokwane City and Kaizer Chiefs and all of that. But anyways, I do not want to take up much of your time. You do. Since you're sitting at the airport, they've already left.
The team is leaving now.
The team is leaving.
Now it's 11.
Okay. Thank you so much, my brother. Please get well soon. Sure. We do need you. All right. Have a great night. Peace. Well, as you can hear for yourselves, Bafetu, Asanele Velebhayi has not yet signed, but there is a high possibility, and from what I'm getting, Tiwanje, Kaizer Chiefs are definitely looking for a winger. Actually, they might sign a winger before the transfer window comes to a close, because the transfer window, I think it closes around August or September, around there, between those months. So obviously it's going to be a long time before Guvalwa Iminyang. So we should keep an eye out for Asanele Velebhayi. Nakona, it will depend on whether Cape Town Spurs does fall and to agree to say no, as in we're not going to be able to buy a new status for the club. So definitely we will make sure that we release the player. But other than that, Buffett, it's complicated. This complicates a lot of things, because at the end of the day, obviously we've talked about Asanele Velebhayi, and I thought he's a great player, as someone who can add something to the team. But as you can hear for yourselves, Buffett, Spurs does not want to sell their dime. And yes, I've heard from the unplayable say, we even reported about it to Mjita has signed with Kaizer Chiefs. Well, they might have made interest, but in terms of signing, let's just wait Bafethu spawn as time goes on. But so far, as you can hear for yourselves, Bafethu Nangati QP in. I've cut that conversation short. There's a lot of things that we talked about there, but it's fine, guys. I do not want to dwindle you in a lot of things. But anyways, we move, guys. We look at other players. Number one, Saling. Guys, let's just forget about Monopoly Saling, because at the end of the day, Pirates is not looking to release him. But here now, we do not know where he stands as a player, but Pirate is not looking to release him. Yes, they've made signing on Asanele, which obviously they have a good wings there. Saling, and also in Apollos, you look at those players, definitely those are great quality players. But at the end of the day, Saling is still contracted to Orlando Pirates, and we should just let it be, because at the end of the day, it's highly possible he will not come to Kaizer Chiefs. And then we look at Fiston Mayele. Now Fiston Mayele Bafethu, the information we look at Fiston Mayele. Well, the clubs, they can't reach an agreement in terms of the pricing, because at the end of the day, Kaizer Chiefs does tend to want players. I even heard also in Apollos, Kaizer Chiefs made an offer of close to 10 million, nothing above 10 million. And you can see why Orlando Pirates managed to win the player, because probably they made an offer which was better than Kaizer Chiefs, maybe with my 12, 13 or 15 million. But I don't think it's above 15 or even 20, because you look at his previous season, he did not have a good season. But for me, I feel like that was done on purpose, so that he can show the team that he wants to leave, and also the chairman with the pitch. I no longer care where I'm going now. I just want to go, because at the end of the day, I did tell you guys with the alleged rumors of that club. And then also we look at the problem with Fiston Mayele coming to Kaizer Chiefs. You look at the foreign sport there. Since Kaizer Chiefs made the plan, which we are going to give Edson Castillo 1 year contract extension, they might be doing it so that they can sign Fiston later on. But the problem is, young Africans are knocking on the door of Azam FC, and they are looking to sign Fiston Mayele, and they want to bring him back there. But to Mayele himself, he wants to come to Kaizer Chiefs. That's one thing that we do know for sure. He wants to come to Kaizer Chiefs, and we do know our coach is interested, or has been interested, in this player. But with the signing of Ethan Chislett, and also now we've signed Spesihle Ndlovu, the chances are getting slimmer and slimmer. So he might end up opting to go to a young Africans, going back to where he was initially groomed and became the player that is well known today as the great Fei toto. And then we move on, guys. There's been interest. Now this is very interesting, but at the end of the day, we do know that they're going to get him. Fawaz Pasadine is a player that currently Ngashuti Sundowns are monitoring him. They might sign the player. That is a huge possibility, and I won't take it for granted, because at the end of the day, Kaizer Chiefs, they tend to do their business. They don't look to sign those great name players, but they prefer to sign players who are not well known, and then they make them into those stars. But at the end of the day, it's not something that has been working for us. We've signed a lot of players. We've signed a lot of you look at Rangashivaviro, you look at there's a lot of players, guys, that we've signed, and we thought we are going to turn them into something that is proper. But at the end of the day, it's not everyone. I'm happy with Tabokele, but not everyone is going to get there and become this great player that Kaizer Chiefs is trying to achieve. And then you look at Fiston Mayele. I don't want to be long, guys. You look at Fiston Mayele. His Kumbuladi was linked with Mamelodi Sundowns. Sundowns has signed him. It's a done deal, guys. From what I'm getting, my trusted source, Tiwano, he did not sign with Mamelodi Sundowns. And njengoba bengirepotile last Fiston Mayele is not looking to go to EPSL, which is something that I'm getting even now. There are no official offers that were made to Pyramids FC for Fiston Mayele. And at the end of the day, we do know that Fiston Mayele ufuna ukuhamba. And same thing that I'm getting here. Fiston Mayele wants to leave, but Pyramid doesn't want to let him go. Same situation with the Fiston Mayele. Fiston Mayele wants to leave. Azam FC doesn't want to let him go. Pyramid doesn't want to let Fiston Mayele go. And then we jump. I don't want to be long Fei toto. And then we jump. We look at Peter Shalulile, which obviously I've heard you guys saying, what is going on with the Peter Shalulile? Guys, Peter Shalulile does want to move. But he does not want a South African team, to be honest with you. It's unlikely Uti Hanga join the Kaizer Chiefs. As much as Kaizer Chiefs are looking for another centre forward, he's unlikely to join Kaizer Chiefs. But if they make a reasonable offer, he cannot deny, because at the end of the day, he will be becoming a free agent and he will need to have a club. But his side has said mostly on Saudi Arabia team and not African teams, which obviously we've heard that there is some interest, but obviously we're not going to get there because we are not talking about that. And then also we look at Upiri. It's unlikely he will be joining Kaizer Chiefs, but we can't rule out the opportunity of Tibang Payton. Remember, Kaizer Chiefs is capable of signing players and they follow them to Netherlands. So right now I can say maybe they have left. I don't know for sure, but I can say they have left. I haven't confirmed the news, but I can say they've left. And Dizolo, the caller was talking on, it was late guys, I think around late, but before Bazohamba Vachita. And then also we saw Utulani Mabaso, which is a player that is currently traveling with the rest of the team to the Netherlands. Amayama players haven't been given the information, but only Utulani Mabaso Fei toto. And then we look at the players that we currently have, Happy Mashiane, Samgelo Zwane. Those players, there's a huge possibility this season both of them, they might be going out on a loan. There's a huge possibility. It's not something that is going to happen like sure, but there's a huge possibility they will be loaned out. And yeah, I know guys, it's something, but there's also another player who might be promoted just to replace both of them at the same time. And then we go to the goalkeeper department now, guys. The rumors of Ujigi Diarra are true. Kaizer Chiefs did want to sign Ujigi Diarra, but the problem was in Joburg Shilo last when we talked on the episode that I said I did my research, and I found out Ujigi Diarra signed a contract extension which was signed last season. Joburg Shilo last season early, he signed a contract extension which would keep him up to 2027, and people said no, he signed the contract he signed the contract early. Not recently guys, not much. Transfer window, not transfer window this season, but he did sign last season. I should early because around August that's when he signed the contract. And then yes, Kaizer Chiefs did want to sign him, but that's the problem, and they are looking for a goalkeeper, but they want to sign a foreign goalkeeper. But the only problem now that they have is the fact that they have Traore, and Traore is occupying that foreign spot that is supposed to bring in another goalkeeper. So at the end of the day, we might not see a new goalkeeper right away, but a South African goalkeeper, yes, there's been interest, but not too much. They just want a foreign goalkeeper. As why? But I think that is something that they're trying to achieve. And then what else? Guys, I think we've talked about everything. Idiosa Egodaro has not signed with Kaizer Chiefs. Mamelodi Sundowns, they do not want to let him go because they definitely do want to make cash out of him. So yeah, now he wants to leave, but Sundowns doesn't want to let him go, and that's why probably we haven't yet seen Kaizer Chiefs sign the player and make it to Dantel. But I've heard he was part of the squad that was going to Netherlands. So as I gave a Fei toto, what is going to happen, because we have this information, we have the other information, but now it's just a wrap of okay, what is going to happen, and we're going to see what is going to transpire and everything. So guys, I believe this is it, guys. I do not want to take much of your time, but thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you later on with something new, because you have to look out for if I posted there's a story that is coming out very soon, which is a hot one, and it will be interesting to hear. But I will tell you more about Kaizer Chiefs later on, what are the kind of players that we can expect to see later on this transfer window. But for now, I believe this is it, guys. Thank you so much. I will see you later on with something new. Peace.